Alright, this is Vegeta8259, and this is part 4 of the Perfect Grade Gundam GP01 review. And in this part, we're going to be going over both of the core fighters. Now, originally, I was going to go over the core fighters in the weapons and accessories part of the review, but since there's two of them and they're kind of big and complex, I figured I'd give them their own part. Now, what we're going to do is look at these individually. And first we're going to look at the ground type core fighter. And first off, I have to say it's very, very nice looking. The details on it are great. The decals on it are very nice as well. Has a very jet fighter look to it. And personally, this is my second favorite core fighter out of all the Gundam series after Gundam GP03's core fighter. But this one is very, very nice. And it's actually pretty big. I've brought the RX-78's core fighter for size comparison. As you can see, it's about twice the size of RX-78's, even though the two pilots are the same size. Anyway, I've opened the cockpit hatch here so you can see the little Kouraki down in there. And I've taken off some of the armor because there is a little bit of inner detail on this thing. Really the only inner detail is this engine back here. So if you lift the wing up, you can see some of the inner stuff on the engine there. But that's about it. And then you can just take these pieces of armor here and put those in place. Actually, I think you have to slide that forward. And you just snap those in place and you're done. That is, if it'll go in place. Okay, there we go. Took longer than I wanted it to. Anyway, so yeah, very nice detail. It does have two accessories. You've got two little missiles on the ends of the wings that can come off. And you've got landing gear, chrome-plated landing gear, 3 of them, two back here, one in the front there. And you've got little hatches that open up for you to insert the landing gear into. They open and close. So yeah, very, very nicely detailed. I really like these little yellow fans on the front. Or vents on the front rather, and they've got a fan behind those, but you really can't see it from this angle. But anyway, for the transformation for this thing is you're gonna have to take the landing gear out, obviously, and then fold up that little compartment. Do the same thing on the back, and that little flap just folds down. And now we're ready to get started. So, first thing, we're going to fold these wings up. This is going to come out. The wings will rotate forward all the way down inside and then slide back in like so. So the wings are completely hidden. Alright. And then let's see, admittedly, this is the more difficult of the two core fighters to transform. These wings are going to separate from the side, and these beam sabers are going to come off as well. And they're going to slide back, like so. And this part comes out. And I believe we're going to have to take these missiles off. I don't think they're going to be able to fold up with the wings inside the core fighter, so we'll put those to the side. Fold the wings up like so. These beam sabers are going to rotate out and then slide back in like that. And then this front part of the core fighter, we've got these little panels down here. Those, if I can get it to come out, there we go, those are going to flip down. Let's see, this big white panel is going to have to flip down as well, if I can get it to. I may have to get my trusty screwdriver. Find myself using that a lot. Anyway, that's going to flip down like so. And the nose cone of the core fighter is actually going to pull out. It's got two joints in it. And kind of turns into like an elephant trunk there. And it's going to fold up like so, up under the core fighter. And fold all the way back here. And then these two blue panels right here are going to come out as well. Again, they're kind of stiff on mine since I did paint my kit. And that's about it. Now let's go ahead and put this inside GP01. If I can even capture this on camera. Anyway, to put it into the torso is pretty easy. You see these two large pegs right here. They're going to go into those two holes in the bottom of the core fighter, like so. So you got to line those up and just push it down, and there you go. And I'm going to have to raise the camera up even more. And then you'll take the top half of GP01, set it down on top, and slide it backwards. And there we go. As you can see, those two blue panels we flipped out are going to just connect right into GP01's torso there. And then this back half of the core fighter is going to raise up and lock into place. And then when he's got all of his armor on, the giant backpack cover will fold down over that. So that's it for the ground type core fighter. Took a little longer than I expected. Now let's take a look at the space type, or the full burner core fighter. So here's the full burner core fighter. As you can see, I've removed some of the armor because it's got quite a bit of internal detail on these giant thruster pods. As you can see, lots of nice mechanical stuff, lots of pipes going throughout it, and even on the back here we've got lots of nice internal detail as well. And the front half of the core fighter is more or less the same as the ground types, with the only real difference being the thrusters on the front, and these can actually come out. They're kind of stiff, again, since I painted mine. They're actually very stiff, but they do come out like so. And there's actually a little tiny switch right here that you can slide forward and back. And while it works fine on an unpainted kit, since I painted mine, they're just not strong enough, so you're going to have to grab those thrusters and pull them forward. One thing I did forget to mention on the ground type core fighter is that this little Kouraki in here can rotate around in his pilot seat when you transform it. Similar to the core fighter in Gundam Master Grade version 2.0, the seat rocks forward so that when the core fighter is like this, Kouraki is facing forward instead of facing downward. So I thought that was a nice touch. Anyway, let's get to transforming this guy really quick. Let me put this armor on first. Okay, so just like on the ground type, our first step is going to be to remove this landing gear. And we'll just pull that out of the back. The back landing gear on this is kind of awkward. But anyway, this little, if I can even get it in the camera, this giant thruster pod's in the way. This little hatch right here closes and then slides up. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And then the front landing gear is exactly the same. That just pulls out and we'll close this hatch. Now, the transformation, fortunately, on this guy is much easier. All you got to do is fold the core fighter in half, like so. Take these beam sabers and bring those up to about here. Fold those out. And then we'll transform the front half of the core fighter pretty much the same exact way as we did on the ground type. And again, screwdriver to get that thing open. And we'll pull out the nose cone again, fold it up, and fold the whole core fighter down. And once again, these little blue panels right here will be coming out, if I can manage to get them out. There we go. And last but not least, these are going to slide out and tilt backwards, like so. And if we raise the camera up, we can put it inside GP01 now. I have to raise the camera up even more. Anyway, just like before, connecting it to the inner frame is exactly the same. Those are going to go on there. And then the top half of GP01 is going to sit on top and then just slide back. So now we have the GP01 full burner with his core fighter attached. So that about does it for the core fighters. That review took a little bit longer than anticipated, but at least we got them covered now. So that about does it for this part of Perfect Grade GP01's review, and I will see you guys next time.